It's Narstie. It's time to wake up.
It says possession, but I was young. I was young.
There's a little box under your desk. If you take the item out of the box and put it on the desk, OK, pop it on the desk first, and then read out the card.
This is an Ukabong. Me and my cousins would each make an Ukabong to play the Narstie family game, Ukabong.
There we are. Lee's team.
So you're saying it's called an Ukabong?
Ukabong. Ukabong.
How do you spell it, Narstie? Just spell it for Lee, because he's a bit slow.
U-K...
Yeah?
A...
Yeah.
And then bong.
Bong.
U-K-A...
And then bong. Bong.
How do you make it? What's it made of?
It's a sock.
It's made out of socks.
Yeah. What's inside the sock?
More socks.
More socks.
Is it just lots of socks?
So, boom, basically, it's a family game, and everyone has their own Ukabong.
Do you hit each other?
Yeah. It's your own tool.
So you whack people with that?
Yeah.
With the Ukabong?
But, yeah, with your own Ukabong. But there's stipulations to it. You got to all be in a room, and you got to turn off the lights. Yeah? And the hit only counts, yeah, is if you hit someone and you say Ukabong. If you hit someone, yeah, and you don't say Ukabong, the whole room rushes you. And then my grandma says the first one who cries gets beaten. Right, we be in my grandma's, yeah, up top room. Boom, there's like 15 cousins and my Uncle Simon, yeah? My Uncle Simon's a cool cat. He was a cool cat.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, boom now. Everyone's got their Ukabong.
David is very nervous.
Yeah. I haven't even got my own Ukabong. I'm defenceless.
Hang on a minute. No, I've got one here. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, boom now, yeah? We're in the room now. It's where... It's all dark and that. Swinging at everyone. Ukabong, Ukabong. So then, boom, if I hit you, Ukabong.
Yeah.
Obviously, it probably hurts. You go, ah. But then now, my Uncle Simon, yeah? We thought he had the special Ukabong.
Oh, this is taking a sinister turn.
Man thought his Ukabong was sent from God. Do you know what Uncle used to do? He used to put a tennis ball in his Ukabong.
Do you know what? I thought it was going to be worse than that.
He would come with, like, Zeus's Ukabong. One shot, KO. Everyone's out. Starts crying. Grandma comes in. Everyone gets the bus. We have to read Bible.
If it's dark, how does everyone know that you've successfully Ukabonged somebody? You could be
But
lying.
you'll hear someone say ow, won't you?
Yeah, the owl. No,
so
you're
you
definitely
need
going to
an
hear an
owl.
owl. And when Uncle Simon ones goes off, it's more of a...
What do you think, Scarlett?
I want to do it. Yeah. I really want to play it now. I think it's true.
Scarlett.
Yeah, come on. Yes.
Hang on.
Yes. Ukabong.
This is popular.
Hey, guys, I've got a great idea. Let's all Ukabong Rob.
There we are. That's what we pay our licence fee for. What are you thinking then, Lee? Why don't you go for a guess here?
What do you think?
I think it's 100% true.
You do? Why?
Yeah. Because it's just fun, isn't it? I can imagine you doing that. We
Is
did
that fun?
Ah!
Sorry, Ukabong.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no, we all have to attack him.
That's just domestic violence without Ukabong, bro.
Thomas.
I'm with the other two. I think it's absolutely
All
true.
think it's true. OK. Narstie. Truth or lie?
Truth!
I was once mugged by a fox.
Lee's team.
Was it Edward Fox?
I
I didn't catch his name, please.
So, when was this?
This was... I was probably about 18.
18?
Yes, about 11 years ago. I'm only 29.
And what did he get? Your glacier mints?
No! I was on a night out with my friends, and I'd split from my friends, and my friend didn't live too far from where we had the night out.
Where, Rylan? Which part of the country?
It was in Essex. It was in Romford. So I decided to walk back to his, and he lives in, like, a cul-de-sac, like a dead-end road.
Yeah, we know what a cul-de-sac is.
What you don't know is that in Romford they're quite posh.
Yeah.
It's an important detail.
It's a very important detail, a cul-de-sac.
That's French.
Yeah.
So it's only dead end, literally, not metaphorically. These people are going places.
It depends what side of Romford.
Right, yeah.
So I'm walking down his road, and as I'm walking down this road, there's a wall, and there was a fox on the wall, and I was a little bit...
On the wall?
On the wall, just perched
What's
on the
he
wall.
doing up there?
Just looking at me. And, you know, I don't know if anyone else does this, but if there's, like, a fox or anything, I just sort of stamped my foot and went, you know, for it to run away. Instead, the fox slyly crawled down the wall and walked towards me.
Oh, my word.
Like, really slowly as well.
Right.
Which put me on edge. Now, I've got my phone in one hand and my wallet in the other. I was wearing an extremely skinny pair of trousers. I had no pockets, right? So, as I've gone, like, what the hell is going on with this fox? The fox jumped towards me. It leapt off of all of its legs.
Yeah.
And...
Whoa. How many legs?
4. All 4
Can
of
I
its
just check?
legs.
Is that add up?
Yeah.
OK, carry on.
Thank you. And in the ruckus, like the panic, I've gone, oh, and dropped my phone and wallet, and it grabbed my wallet in its mouth and ran away.
It ran away with the wallet?
It ran away with my wallet in its mouth.
When you rang your bank, were there any unauthorised uses of your credit card?
Well, it's funny because I did have to ring the bank the following day, and I said, my wallet's been stolen, I need to cancel my
direct
cards.
debit from a chicken coop.
And they said, oh, that's fine, we can cancel your cards, but if you could get a crime reference number, because you've said it's been stolen, we need to just log it on the system. I said, yeah, that's fine. So I had to ring the police and describe the assailant.
And how did you describe him?
Ginger and fluffy.
He didn't take the phone, did he?
No, I kept the phone.
Okay.
I was very lucky.
And did it come back? Did you...
No.
It never came back?
Never found it again, so there's some fox out there having a right old jolly up.
What do you think? Could it be true?
Did you not make any attempt to chase him, or...?
No, I was just in a panic, and I just wanted to get to the nearest point of safety.
I think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. On the one hand, I don't think he's telling the truth. On the other hand, I've never got one of these right in my entire life. So,
Wow.
No.
balancing...
You didn't tell us that before we booked you.
No.
For what it's worth, I've never got anything right on the chase.
Neither have I.
You surprised me. I don't think he's telling the truth, no.
I think he's lying.
OK, yeah, we'll say it's a lie.
You're going to say it's a lie. Rylan, mugged by a fox. Truth or lie?
It is, in fact, very true, and I'm embarrassed.
OK, when the Spice Girls stayed in hotels, we played a special game to test who was the bravest.
What was the game?
We used to dare each other to do certain things.
What was the scariest thing you were ever dared to do?
Sing live?
Rob, you've got to watch that, because a lot of people think you're nice.
That's why you get the boat advert and me and him don't, because
Yeah.
you're the nicest
Nice one.
Yeah.
But it's all a
Not
facade, because
anymore.
me and David know,
Not
actually,
anymore.
you are evil.
Yeah.
And now...
Welcome aboard. So, Emma, what sort of things did you do?
So the main one was, and it involved nudity.
Right.
So we used to stay in hotels a lot, obviously, while we were touring.
Yeah.
And we used to dare each other to go, like, run in the hallways, and we had to do that naked.
Naked?
Yeah. We were allowed sometimes to carry a
Clothes.
flannel.
A flannel?
Yeah.
What were you worried was going to happen?
The flannel was so you could cover. You had to choose a part, obviously, to cover.
Victoria could use that as a dressing gown.
So if someone saw you, you could decide which part of you were known by and cover that up.
Jim, cover your face.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way, isn't it?
I remember once the girls made me go to the lift.
Yeah.
And wait for the lift to arrive.
No.
And then, obviously, you were lucky if it opened and no one was there.
Oh, no. I suddenly felt like...
You're really getting into this story.
I suddenly felt I'd been challenged to do it myself. Yeah. Joe, you've toured the country, haven't you, with your show? You've stayed in hotels.
Never found a flannel big enough, Rob.
I think it's the logistics of the game that interest me, typically. I want to understand better how the competition worked.
We'd take two at a time, and then the first one back, knocking on the door, that would be the winner.
It's a knockout. Two become one. It's simple.
Johnny, what do you think? True?
I think it does sound like it all adds up so far.
Sean, what are you thinking
I've
here?
been consistently wrong tonight, unerringly wrong.
Well, in which case, if you maintain your current strategy, we can use that to win. What do you think, instinctively?
Lie.
Lie. Right, it's true, then. Right.
So, Emma, truth or lie?
Okay. It is true.
Yes, it's true. The Spice Girls really did run round hotels wearing nothing but a flannel.
This is Jaimie, and after a mix-up in a tattoo parlour, we now have each other's tattoo.
Daisy, how do you know Jaimie?
This is my ex-boyfriend, Jaimie, and I used to put sleeping pills in my parents' tea so I could sneak him into the house.
And finally, Lee, what is your relationship with Jaimie?
This is Jaimie. While staying at an Airbnb, I mistook him for an intruder and attacked him with a whisk.
Daisy, when did you go out with Jaimie?
When I was about 14, 15.
Where did you get the sleeping pills?
My mother had them to get to sleep.
What sort of time would you administer the dose?
So I would administer, especially when they're watching Inspector Morse. So I'd say, "Can I make you a cup of tea?" They'd say, "Yes, please," and I'd be in the kitchen putting them in the...
How many times did you do this? How often did you do this as a tactic?
I think for the duration of our relationship.
Which was?
About a year.
What was it about Jaimie that was so unacceptable to your waking parents?
Because he was a very angry goth. And he didn't treat me very well.
So you've drugged your parents. What happens next?
They get very tired watching the show. They poodle off up to bed. At this point, he's finished work at the Chinese restaurant, so I sneak him round the back gate.
And because he's a goth, he's very well camouflaged in the dark.
Then Mum goes to bed, and we just listen to Iron Maiden very quietly and write goth poetry together. So they woke up, and my mum walks into the room to find some black goth hair on my pillow and says, "Paul," which is my dad, "get down here now. Daisy's smuggled in Jaimie. Kick him out of the house and say something responsible." So my dad said, "Get out my house, you pillock."
OK, now then, what about Rory?
I wanted a tattoo of a crescent moon, quite classy.
Yeah.
Instead, easy. Instead, I got a picture of Popeye's face.
And where?
Just there on my left shoulder blade.
Have you still got it?
Yes. You choose out of a book what you want.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go...
I know what a book is.
I'll have the number 4, Jaimie wanted the number 5, or whatever
With rice,
it was.
or...?
Not that kind of establishment.
Okay.
And then
So it is neither a restaurant nor a brothel. It's kind
kind of establishment it is a tattoo parlour with beds and a low standard of administrative competence.
You'd have gone out of the storm on this stag weekend, David.
Rory, how long was it before you realised the mistake?
Immediately. Yeah, you stand up, there's a mirror there, you go like that. And there wasn't a picture of a classy crescent moon, there was a picture of Popeye's face with the pipe and everything.
Who was more upset by this outcome, you or Jaimie?
Me, by far.
Right.
Absolutely. He's now got a classy crescent moon on his back. I've got Popeye. Are you not following this?
OK, now then, what about Lee? Remind us, Lee, of your claim.
So this is Jaimie, and while staying in an Airbnb, I mistook him for an intruder, and I attacked him with a whisk.
OK, and where was the Airbnb?
The Airbnb was in Rye.
And why were you staying in an Airbnb in Rye?
Because I like to get away from my family, full stop. So I was asleep, and it was about midday, something like that, and I hear a noise downstairs. And then he starts playing around with the wood-burning stove.
Oh, no.
And I see this figure. I panic. And I was going to say, get out, or else. I don't know what I was thinking. I just ran at him.
I'll whip you to a soft peak. You just went straight in and battered him with a hand whisk.
I just panicked and I was
just straight in, he went to the kitchen, got the hand, batter.
No, there's no batter involved.
Well, we need an answer. Jaimie, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jaimie, and I used to sneak into Daisy's house.
Possession.
Ah, right, OK. There's a box under the desk. Now, there's a card inside it. Could you read the card out first? Then, when you've read it, take the item and place it on top of the desk.
Whenever I need to cry in a scene, I ask the director to hold this up behind the camera. There's something about it that helps the tears to flow.
OK, and then take out the object, just pop it on the desk. Right, just see if you can position it there. Please, team.
What is that?
It's a cat.
It's a
But he looks a bit like he's been treated badly.
Well, he has been treated badly because someone's cut his back legs off.
I know.
And how long have you had this badly treated cat?
About 20 years.
Oh. So since you were about 7? No, I was only joking.
Why? David will remember him from various scenes in Peep Show as well.
Oh, this is good. I've never seen this done before. Dragging a teammate into a...
So he would sometimes hold the cat.
So maybe it wasn't the cat that made you cry. Maybe it was...
Never thought that through.
Yeah.
I wasn't on set for Broadchurch, so...
But the cat is called David, so maybe I've never made that connection before.
So is David Tennant holding that up in Broadchurch?
It's the director, normally, behind the camera.
Right.
But
and
why
is... Look.
I know.
Could I have David?
OK,
please?
just be nice
Not
to
you.
him.
Thank you. What if you two were to sort of improvise a dramatic scene? Right, you're telling David, he's playing your husband, ludicrous, that you've met another man and you're going to leave, but you're sad because you have 6 children, you're going to miss them, it's not going to be easy.
Ooh.
I, at a given point,
OK.
will pop it up, and when I pop it up, I want you to let the tears flow.
OK.
Whenever Rhod pops it up, a woman cries.
I didn't hear that. I only assume it was very insulting.
It'd be something snide.
OK. Off you go.
OK.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. I'm afraid I'm running off with Alberto, the guitar teacher.
Alberto? What, even after I voted for Brexit?
I just couldn't help myself.
If only they'd trigger Article 50 more quickly, he'd be gone by now. I'm getting some political satire in. Are you all right, darling?
Yes. Sorry. I will try and keep it together. I'm really sorry.
it possible to look at the cat to see if it looks 20 years old? Because I think
If you throw him to me, I'll throw him over to John.
No, I'm not throwing him.
Don't worry, he'll land on his feet.
To be gentle. Thank you, Aston. That's very kind.
Oh, did you see that?
That was a good catch.
Quite good, wasn't it?
Is that what you do on Spring Watch? You just pull the blue tits out of the sky. Let's have a look at this blue tit. And now an owl. He looks a bit manky. He looks
really
battered.
manky.
He looks battered.
But
Can you smell it?
Go on, have a sniff.
12 years old, that.
So what do you think? Truth or lie?
Michaela?
I think you're way too good an actress to need something like that.
So you say it's a lie?
I think it's definite.
Sorry. I think I would have read it in an interview.
Yeah. So you're saying it's a lie?
Yes.
OK, we'll say it's a lie.
You say it's a lie. Olivia, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Oh, thank
Bob, you're next.
My first taste of fame was when the local newspaper dubbed me the Cockroach King.
David's team.
What was the newspaper?
My local. It was called the South London Press.
So, are you from South London?
I was in the lead-up to the headline, The Cockroach King.
Why were you in the public eye doing what?
I was a solicitor at the time, and I sued the local authority because of cockroach infestations in the council houses. Yes! That's what I did.
And of course, it was that kind of style in court that won the day.
We settled outside of court, actually. But the... I had to change the names because these are real legal proceedings that we're talking about.
Right. Well, why does the fact that it's real legal proceedings mean you have to change the names?
Because I don't think it's fair to say that, let's say she's called Barbara Lighthouse. Lived in the horror of cockroach infestation.
Were you representing Barbara Lighthouse?
I was, yes.
She'd engaged your services?
She's engaged my services. I visited her property.
Must have been ages to get to the top.
There were Egyptian cockroaches. So I had an idea, right? I said, I bet this is bad for your mental health, living with cockroaches. And I took them to the magistrate's court on a private criminal prosecution under the Public Health Act.
Why are you counting every letter in the same? Are you working out how much to charge her?
You mentioned the Egyptian cockroach.
The Egyptian cockroach,
How
yeah.
many? I wasn't aware there were different types.
They live in the concrete, and they can actually live off the concrete that the buildings are made
So,
of.
so Bob, hold it.
concrete?
Yep.
Bob, they got some hard cockroaches. They live in the concrete.
They nip out to go behind the fridge or the cooker, or to turn the light out.
What were the size of these Egyptian cockroaches?
They're long and thin, slip right in.
That's my profile on Tinder.
It's odd the Cockroach King would suggest a champion of the cockroach rather than an opponent.
Or in fact, their leader.
Yes.
Did you lead the cockroaches away like the Pied Piper?
No, I didn't. What happened is I got an expert from the University of Cambridge called Broccoli High Kicks. Again, I've changed his name. His brief from me was, can you in any way argue that this is contrary to public health? He confirmed it, went to court. It's all coming ever so clear now. We went to court, yeah. Ronnie Omlets was the housing officer.
And the weird thing is you haven't changed his name, have you?
And what was she called? Barbara Lighthouse. Barbara Lighthouse brought a clear jar of the cockroaches with her and poured them over Ronnie omelettes. Right? Of course, he was very frightened, didn't know what to do, at which point Barbara Lighthouse said, I think I've made my point, you know, to the housing officer.
Yeah.
This is what I live with. So, the council agreed to rehouse. Next day, the Cockroach King.
Right, what's he going to say, David? What do you think?
It's that bizarre that only Bob could make it up, so I think that's true.
That doesn't make sense. If you're saying only Bob could make it up, then he could have made it up.
No, only Bob can make it up like that.
Right.
So convincing.
Yeah. So we're in trouble, aren't we? Because you're saying that if anyone else had said it, it would definitely be true because they couldn't have invented it. The one person who's saying it is also coincidentally the only human who could also have invented it.
Yes.
What a terrible set of circumstances. You think it's true? Do you think it's true?
Yes, let's say it's true.
We're going to go true.
OK. Now, Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth. Following advice from Chris Rea, I always crack an egg into my bath. I've done for 22 years.
We should say to younger viewers, some of my fans, who Chris Rea was a very popular singer.
When did Chris Rea give you this advice, and in what context?
I was making a single for Middlesbrough Football Club's FA Cup appearance called Let's Dance, which I did with Chris Rea. And after we'd completed the recording, he popped me into the bath, and there was an egg.
So where was this bath? Was it at the recording studio?
It's on a little island in the middle of the Thames. It's as Rea's recording studio is.
So you've been recording, presumably, in a room without a bath?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you finish the recording, everyone's very happy with the track.
Yep.
And he says, Bob, you look tired. Maybe your joints are aching this way.
No, it's not exactly like that. It says, that's it, Bob, I think we've got that, like. That's your bedroom, that's your bath. I've popped an egg in there for you.
Is he Geordie?
Yeah.
He's like where I'm from, Middlesbrough.
Right.
But he's much more Middlesbrough than me, like.
And why would he put an egg in your bath? What was the thinking behind it?
I've never found out.
And you've done it ever since?
All I know is that I woke up the next morning and I have never felt so alive.
Was the egg still in its shell, floating, or had he gone...
No, the white had dissipated. Does that work?
Yeah.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's non-greasy, which is a boon, isn't it?
Is it non-greasy?
Yeah, honestly.
It's less greasy than water without egg in it?
Do you have to mix it up, or do you just crack it and let it float?
Do you know what? You get in the bath, even in the bath where I am now, and you get in and you really don't want to burst the yolk. So the white goes, but the yolk's there, and you move like that, and you try and get it to come towards like that. And I don't know why, but you just do.
Have you ever had it get in your mouth?
You get it there like that. And then you get the yolk, and I use it for hair conditioning.
Really?
I don't know how much hair, but to condition the hair on my skin.
So, just going back to the original occasion, Chris Rea had already run you a bath.
Yes. I forgot about that detail.
If you knew Chris, it's just so Chris. Yeah. Do you know, the other thing is a couple of weeks later, he sent me a gold doily.
Right. To dry yourself off.
So, I'm just saying, these things are just so Chris.
Do you think that the way Bob describes what happened to the egg white... Is that... He says it just dissipates. Is that
If your bath is hot, then you're going to have a poached white.
I'd have thought the white would turn white. And
Well,
there'd be bits of white.
How hot is your bath? Your bath is hot enough that an egg could poach.
Well, I don't know. Your claim is that it dissipates. I'm asking my team whether we believe that it would dissipate. Because if, for example, at the temperature of a bath, say 39 degrees Celsius, the white would turn opaque, then your story doesn't check out.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Absolutely agreed.
I think...
What do you think, David?
I think it's fair to say that if anyone else had made this allegation about Chris Rea and an egg in their bath, we wouldn't be giving it a moment's consideration.
What are you going to say?
Instinctively, I believe it. We're going to go true.
You're saying true? OK, so, Bob, Chris Rea, eggs, baths, is it the truth or is it a lie?
This is awful.
I was telling a lie.
As a kid, my parents denied me chocolate, so every Easter I had to run around the garden and hunt the Easter onion.
The Easter onion, yes. David, where'd you begin?
Them were the days.
Why were you denied chocolate?
It's not good for you, is it?
And why did you hunt an onion? Why didn't you just say, I don't give a damn where that onion is. It's not a treat.
Well, you do what you're told to do, innit? As a kid.
So you would look for the onion, and you would find the onion, and you would say...
I'd say, da ist die Zwiebel.
What? What?
Well, there is, in Germany, say, there's the onion.
What would happen then?
Then I would hold it aloft. And...
Like a World Cup.
And at what point in your family's Easter celebrations would the onion hunt occur?
Well, when on Easter Sunday.
On Easter Sunday, in the morning on Easter Sunday...
I would be out in the garden.
So, but before your parents were up, you were already out there.
Henning, do you get on with your parents?
Very well, yeah.
Are they nice?
Yeah, I mean, my father is dead, but he was a really jolly fella, and, yeah, my mother is all right, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't do the speech at the funeral.
Once you track the onion down, Henning, would you tuck into it?
Yeah, you have a bite.
Raw? So,
of course.
So you're very pleased, you held the onion aloft, and then you took a bite out of it.
Yeah.
I do feel like you're more enchanted by onions than we are.
But obviously they mean a lot to me, because I knew Easter Sunday it was time to go in the garden and hunt the Easter onion.
What are you thinking, Rachel?
I was half believing him until the biting into it.
They're quite solid, aren't they? It's like a tennis ball, isn't
Yeah.
it?
The thing is, I can bite into an onion because I wasn't allowed chocolate. That means my teeth are good.
Yeah.
Would your mother and your father, when he was alive, would they share the experience?
He would occasionally bite in an onion.
You'd hold it aloft, they'd say, well done, little Henning. And they'd all... Look what Henning has done. And then... He's holding it aloft. Quick. Get your camera. And then... Would they also tuck into the onion?
He was. Just thinking of that onion makes me eyes water.
What do you think? Is that truth?
What do you think?
Well, even though he started crying at the memory, I don't know. They're crocodile tears.
He does seem very moved, doesn't he?
What do you think, Alex?
I hope it's true, but I think it's not.
I think it's a lie.
It's a lie. You're saying it's a lie. Henning, did the Easter Bunny bring an onion?
Sadly, it's a lie.
For 1 month, I chose to sleep on the streets rather than talk to the people I was supposed to be living with.
David C.
And at what stage in your life was this?
What stage?
Yes.
Do you mean how old was I?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Age 20.
Whereabouts? Where was it?
Spain.
What made you vacate your house?
There was no house, and I never went to it.
You never went there at all?
It was a hotel or hostel thing, you know, not a house. Yeah. I went there, I stood outside.
OK.
Looked at it.
Yeah.
Thought, nah.
So it wasn't the people, it was the...
It was the idea of the people.
You wanted to live alone and were surprised that a hostel didn't afford that possibility.
And you stayed on the street for a whole month?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bar a couple of nights here or there, yeah.
Did you pull on the other nights? What happened on those?
You're absolutely right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So on those occasions, the thought of other people wasn't quite so loathsome.
Yeah.
Where in Spain was this?
It was in Salamanca, and I slept on a bench, right dead centre of a square.
How were you washing your clothes?
I didn't.
Well, how many pairs of pants did you have?
I'm going to say 4, but...
4 for a month without washing them?
I said 4, but it could have been 7.
Well, 7's not enough. You need 28, otherwise you're an animal.
No, but I hate to support your own teammate against you, Lee. If you're going to a place for a month, you might decide that you're not going to take enough underwear to have a fresh pair of pants every day without ever washing them.
How many pairs of pants do you own?
I think I've probably got about... I've got maybe...
Look at you, desperately thinking... Was this the right answer? David, there's nothing right or wrong. You're amongst friends.
I think I've got about 14 pairs I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And another 4 or 5 that would do at a pinch, and I use the word advisedly.
Predominantly boxers or bikini brief?
Predominantly... I mean, it's interesting that this is what the conversation's going around to. Predominantly what I believe is referred to as a sort of trunk.
You favour the trunk?
Yeah.
I think you mean the jockey short. Like a boxer short shape, but tight.
Look, I'll just take my trousers off and you can look.
I did wash a pair of pants.
Oh, you remember that?
It's amazing how these things come back to you.
The reason I chose the middle of the square was because there was a bin lorry that would come round every morning in concentric circles, just spraying from the side of the lorry, hosing down the square. I would stay in the middle, and then I would wash in the bin lorry when it got to the centre. And one day I did wash a pair of pants on the hose on the side of the bin lorry. I did.
Wow.
I did.
So you
Hi, girls. This is my friend Rhod. Would you like a drink?
You put a pair of pants in the way of a bin lorry's hose to wash it.
I used to wash in the bin lorry, well, the tap at the side of the bin lorry, yeah.
So they wouldn't mind you sauntering up to the bin lorry and turning the tap on?
They were very amenable, the local bin man, Miguel.
Well, you got to...
Did you learn the phrase, can I wash my pants on the side of your bin lorry in Spanish?
Se puede lavarme los... what's underpants in Spanish, Rob?
Pantalonero.
Sí. Pantalonero.
How many pants have you got, Rob?
I was just given a gift. It was my birthday recently, not that you'd know from any response from you. And...
I didn't know you were still alive. What did you get for your birthday?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got some...
Old man who forgot the story. I got a lovely present anyway. On with the game. Do you remember, Rob, you were telling us a lovely story about your pants? Tell us about your pants.
I got some pants.
Yeah.
Now, yes. So, Ronan Keating, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Toff, what about you?
I think it's a completely insane thing to do what you did, so I think you're lying.
There is a lot of detail. I'm going to go true.
You're saying it's true. OK, Rhod. Was it the truth, or was it a lie?
It was a... true!
Yeah.